Gravity doesn't care about your tight deadlines. When you are moving tons of steel, hope is never a strategy. Welcome to Basic Rigging. Today, we're going to build a mental blueprint to keep you and your crew safe. We will cover 4 steps: prepping the load, planning the path, picking the right gear, and communicating clearly. Memorizing and executing this blueprint is the only way to eliminate guesswork on the job site. Guessing leads to catastrophic accidents. Let's get to work. Step 1. Know your load. Before touching a piece of hardware, you must know exactly how much weight you are lifting. You have 2 ways to find this out. The most direct method is checking the manufacturer tags on the equipment. If there are no tags, you calculate it yourself by multiplying the load's volume by the density of its material. Once you establish the weight, you have to locate the center of gravity. This is the specific point inside the load, where all of its weight is perfectly balanced and concentrated. To execute a straight lift, your crane hook must drop perfectly aligned over this mark. If you miss the center of gravity and hoist, physics takes over. The load swings violently to correct itself until it settles directly under the hook. Verifying the weight and locking onto the true center of gravity prevents unpredictable, lethal load swings the second the material leaves the ground. Step 2. Understand the job. Rigging cannot begin until the entire lift is mapped out from start to finish. This chart outlines the requirement to visually verify the starting location, the travel path, and the final destination. You must physically walk this route to identify overhead hazards, like power lines or structural beams. You are also required to prepare your landing zone by setting up substantial wooden blocking at the final destination before the load is ever lifted. A fully planned path and prepped landing zone guarantees you won't crush your rigging hardware under the load, and you won't get trapped holding a suspended object with nowhere to safely set it down. Step 3. Select and inspect your rigging. Hardware is chosen based on its safe working load, or SWL, capacity. The industry standard uses a 5-to-1 safety factor. The actual braking strength is 5 times higher than the stamped safe working load. But you must account for how you attach the load. Look at this comparison. As you decrease the angle of a sling, making it flatter against the horizon, you drastically multiply the tension force placed on that sling. Once you select hardware with the right capacity, you must physically inspect every single piece before connecting it to the load. For wire rope, you look for exact failure conditions. If you find 6 or more broken wires in a single lay length, or any signs of crushing and bird caging, the rope goes in the trash. Synthetic web slings require the same scrutiny. Any fraying, rips, holes, or torn stitching makes it unusable. And check your forged hooks. Any cracks, deep wear in the saddle, or visible stretching means immediate rejection. That 5-to-1 safety factor only applies to pristine gear. Using slightly damaged rigging invites catastrophic failure under dynamic shock loads. If it's damaged, cut it up and throw it out. Step 4. Communicate and execute. It is time to physically control the load and direct the crane operator. The absolute rule of the floor is that you must never be in direct physical contact with a suspended load. To safely maneuver the object, you attach a tagline to the corner of the load. This allows you to control spin and direct the material from a safe distance. Next, perform a test lift. Raise the load just a few inches to verify the balance and check that all sling legs have even tension. You dictate these movements using standard hand signals. Point your forefinger up and trace a circle to hoist. Point down and trace a circle to lower. And extend your arm with a sweeping motion to stop. Taglines, test lifts, and standard hand signals form a safety net. They ensure you retain complete authority over the lift before committing to the full hoist. Let's review the blueprint. Know the load, plan the path, inspect the gear, and communicate clearly. Adhering strictly to these 4 steps ensures you control the heavy iron, rather than the iron controlling you. Next time you're on the floor, take a minute to physically handle your rigging hardware. Find the safe working load stamps, calculate a center of gravity, and practice your hand signals. Avoiding complacency and respecting the weight of the load is the true mark of a professional. Stay safe out there.